What is going on, everybody? This month, the Grunge Bible podcast is celebrating its first birthday. We began this podcast in March of 2021, and here we are a full year later.
It has been 52 weeks, 52 episodes, and Chris and I are honestly super excited and very proud of ourselves. And we have a lot of exciting things coming up, and we have a really special giveaway to coincide with our first birthday.
Absolutely. So this podcast, as you well know, would not be possible without the support of our supporters over there on Patreon. So to thank them, we have decided to partner up with photographer Chris Cafaro, and he is supplying some great goodies for the patrons that they're going to be eligible to win to commemorate this first birthday.
And the way we're going to do it, we're going to keep it really simple. If you are an active member of the Patreon at any of the three levels that we have, $2, $5, or $10, you are entered in to win one of three prizes.
The $2 tier, if you're a $2 member, you are eligible to win a 13x19 artist's print that Chris Cafaro took of Chris Cornell. If you are a member of the $5 tier, you're eligible to win a 13x19 print that Chris Cafaro took of Pearl Jam. And for the $10 tier, for the top level, if you are active on that level, you are automatically entered to win a 17x22 artist's print of Nirvana, as well as a free item of choosing from the Grunge Bible store.
So basically the entire month of March, we're going to have hopefully a ton of people sign up. And then at the end, come April 1st, we're going to choose one from each tier, and that's it. And we're going to give away some awesome gifts, and we're super excited about it.
It's that simple, guys. You guys are the reason that we're here, and if you're interested, get that Patreon subscription in by March 31st. We'll be picking the winners the following day.
And if you want to get in and then delete it right away, that's fine with us.
Go ahead.
But if you go ahead, but you got to get in there.
Ticket. Time's running out.
Yep, you get in there for one, and there's a good shot of winning because right now, I mean, we have, I think, 35 total members across three tiers, so the odds are pretty good. Get your name in there, and who knows, you could have a great piece of art hanging on your wall.
Thanks, as always, for your support, and we look forward to another full year of podcasting. Ethan, are you ready for it?
Chris, I'm super excited. Next year, it's going to be even bigger and better giveaway, but for now, let's just focus on one episode at a time, one giveaway at a time.
Let's roll it, people. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Grunge Bible Podcast, episode 51. My name is Ethan Shalloway, and I'm sitting here looking across at my good friend Chris Salona, the two parts that make up Grunge Bible. Chris, you got a retro jersey on today, is that right? What is that?
I do, yeah. This is really, really old. So back in, I think, the 80s, my father used to own a sporting goods store, and this was one that was left over, so this thing is much older than I am. So I needed to spice it up for the. Yeah, it's a Patriots jersey from back in the 80s. Yeah. So got one of those on. Had to spice it up. To keep up appearances for the visual viewers. Well, that's
all those viewers on YouTube.
Redundant. Man. Yeah, exactly. We're raking them in. So how are you today, Ethan?
I'm doing well.
Great.
It is another Monday. We're recording on a Monday.
March 7th.
March 7th. And this episode comes out at the end of the week. And I'm doing good. I have some leftover Mardi Gras beads I'm wearing.
Absolutely.
For my time. I went to St. Louis, actually. Apparently they have the second biggest Mardi Gras in the country behind.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah, New Orleans. But Mobile is, I think it started in Mobile.
Okay.
But I don't know. So I'm still rocking that. But yeah, today's a good day. I got some work in. I actually got a practice in already. And then actually later tonight, I'm going to head out to the venue that we go to a lot. And I'm seeing a show. Hopefully it's supposed to rain.
Sydney Sprague is playing, huh?
Yes. Our good friend. I actually saw her. She opened up for the Front Bottoms in September. And we've fallen along. She has an awesome album and just really awesome music. And I hope the rain holds off and we can go have a great show. She's opening for Dashboard and Jimmy Eat World. But honestly, Chris, I might not even stay. I'm just going for
man,
her.
It's all about Sydney, 100%.
I mean, Jimmy Eat World is, play the middle. I can't. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can last.
You know how long they're gonna wait? They're gonna deny you the hose water until it's too late. It all depends whether they just get out and dispense with it early or they make you wait.
There's no way that they maybe they will open with that. Sometimes
Who
bands
knows?
do that.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion on Dashboard Confessional?
It's a blind spot for me, so I can't say whether I like it or dislike it. I just don't know much about it, much about that band. So maybe I'll check it out if I don't know if you stay, if you have good reviews. I'll check it out. I got time. We all have time.
So I'm pretty excited. It's definitely a jam-packed Monday, but I'm glad that we can do this. We can get together. This is always needed, always fun. It's been a little bit since we recorded as well.
It has been. I think it's been about a week and a half.
Feels like forever
since we recorded. It really has. And I think, speaking for myself, although I think you feel similarly, we are both beginning to break out of our winter malaise. The gears are starting to turn. We're becoming busier. Your competition schedule is starting. I was on the road last weekend. I'm coming down to Birmingham this week. We're going to get together. That's going to be great. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina this past week. And previous to that, as I mentioned, I just need to give an update for the individuals that might be interested. I had 2 concerts scheduled last week.
Yes, I wanted
Thursday
to bring
and Friday,
this up.
I was supposed to see Lucy Dacus last Thursday, and I was supposed to see John Mayer on Friday. Both of them were canceled because of the COVID. So that happened. So I am 0 for 2. So fingers crossed that you can get your ass to a show tonight, because if not, we can't go 0 for 3. We can't strike out. So you got to at least get a foul tip in there or something.
Shit, I can't believe you had 2 back-to-backs.
I know, it was rough, but it worked out with having to get to the airport early on Saturday. I wasn't hurting too much, but
right, it's you don't
show
lose
rolls
them.
on. Yeah, they're all rescheduled.
Right?
So I think May will be a busy month for me. I think they're both eyeing sometime during the month of May, which is not far off now.
It really isn't. It's closer than it's ever been, and now it's even closer.
I'm pretty pumped about that.
So we have a really awesome episode coming up. We actually have an album anniversary that we're going to be talking about and digging into. But before we do, we'd like to thank our Patreon sponsors, because they make this possible. You guys that chose to support us with either $2 shitty cup of coffee, $5, $10, whatever it may be, or if you're just listening. But those people a part of the Patreon. You guys make this thing run. You make this train go, and we're very thankful for you. And I mean, it's support. We got people that we know their names. You know what I mean?
We've got a rock.
So
We've
cool.
got a bedrock of support. And the nice thing about this is this is the first week I'm able to say somebody whose name I'm about to say, or somebody who's listening that decides to join, will win that the Nirvana print and then the item from the Grunge Bible store, as we mentioned at the beginning of this episode in the lead-in. So whether you're at the $2, $5, $10 level, if you're on the roster, there's a really good chance you'll win. I mean, that's a pretty good high yield lottery ticket. We like those odds. But as always, we would like to thank our top level for making all of this possible. We are 51 canonical weeks into the Grunge Bible podcast, and wouldn't be possible without these people. So we would like to thank Kara K, The Blue Owl, Jade Mercado, Victor Schaefer, Release, Doug Endy, Wayne Staley, Rachel Corning, Millie, Alexis Shannon, Fuck Soup, What the Fuck's Up Denny's, Jamie Lynn, our #1 fan from Australia, Kayla Jean, Marianne, Millie, Sunny Mashburn, Sue, Shannon Gorgon, and Lauren Irene.
Wow. Is that 20? Is that 20 in the top level?
I'm bad at math. It's between 7 and 25.
Yeah, I think we have 37 totals. I think we're probably maybe even it's crazy.
We're rolling. So to all of you out there, no matter what level you're contributing in, we would certainly like to thank you, and anyone who's out there listening. If you want in on the 1-year anniversary giveaway, you know what to do. Go to patreon.com/grunge_Bible, or find the links anywhere on our social media or on grungebible.com.
Oh man, it's gonna be sweet. Great. I cannot wait to the end of the month, be able to give some stuff away. It'll be fun.
April 1st, April Fool's giveaway. That's kind of antithetical.
It's not a joke, though. It is
not a joke. We will be giving items away.
We promise.
Physical items that you can win. We promise. Everything else that day will be a joke, but this, we're not fucking around.
How funny would that be if like, gotcha?
Sorry, y'all, we're not giving a damn thing away. No, not this time. Maybe next year.
Yeah, that would be funny, but
yeah.
Not Ethan, not this time.
Not this time. No way.
Not this time.
Should we get to it? So we're recording this on Monday, March 7th, and Tuesday, March 8th marks the 28th anniversary of Soundgarden's Superunknown album, which came out on March 8th, 1994. And we were sitting down approximately 25 minutes before recording this episode, and we realized that tomorrow's the birthday of Superunknown, so what better way? This is Superunknown week, and we didn't even know it.
I know. It's awesome. I mean, this is I believe their fifth studio album, right? Or their fifth album.
I believe so.
And they came out the year of my birthday year, so 1994. And it was a big year of releases, of course. I think that was right coming off of Nirvana and Pearl Jam both released.
In 93 with
93, yeah.
In
so
Utero and Versus. I mean, there was a whole lot going on. I always think of 91 and 94. The calendar for grunge rock seemed to be particularly busy in the best way possible, and certainly that continued here with Superunknown. So they went into the studio hot off of Lollapalooza in 93, and they spent a few months in the studio taking some time away to tour actually with Neil Young and Crazy Horse, but they recorded this album from June to September of 1993 on and off at the Bad Animals studio in Seattle, Washington. And I have to say, this record, I think for me, Bad Motorfinger is always going to be the top for me. But I think when you look at Soundgarden and their progression as a band and what their sound was, this fits perfectly between what they did with Bad Motorfinger and what they were to do a few years later with Down on the Upside. I think it's a perfect stopping point on that road. And like, there's a lot on this album that sounds like it could have been on Bad Motorfinger, and there's a lot on it that, you know, a couple of years later when you learn what Down on the Upside was, you're like, oh, that sounds like a Down on the Upside song. And it's just really, for me, this album challenges me in a way that Bad Motorfinger doesn't, just in the terms of everything that's going on and the different sounds and the different time signatures and the different instruments and the different utilization of vocal presentation. And it's really a special album. It's actually the first Soundgarden album that I owned myself. I have a CD of this somewhere that I used to rip every time I would hit a road trip. I have this one specific memory of driving, I think, to Kansas City, Missouri or something. And I listened to this incessantly on the trip. But yeah, Superunknown. What do you think about this record?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I mean, it's their fifth album, and I feel like it is kind of a turning point. I think I've heard Chris talk about it, where like this was their people. They've been around for like, you know, almost 10 years together as a band, but like, you know, I don't know. And it was kind of an opportunity for them to try. They were in the light, and there was a lot of stuff going on with music. And I think he said that it was an opportunity for them to try some new things, and like people were listening because they were really big. You know what I mean? It's like they were already like they were on the radar, so people responded really well, and they were able to kind of push the boundaries and do some different things. And I think it was really good. It was really good for them. I mean, some really great songs come off this album. Some of the most popular songs they have, obviously. Yeah,
and that's a great point that you made. By 1994, I mean, Seattle was directly positioned under the microscope. And I mean, any sort of music that was coming out of the Pacific Northwest, people were listening to because of the grunge craze that was occurring. And certainly this was a fantastic record. And I think anybody that had this in their crosshairs were certainly not disappointed. So when they did release this album, it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. And in 1994 alone, it went on to sell 2.5 million copies. And as we sit here today, it has sold over 9 million worldwide since its release 28 years ago.
9 million copies.
That's a lot. Like, I'm sitting here, so our podcast right now has 75,000 downloads, and that feels like a fuck ton of. Yeah, that feels like a large amount. So I can't quantify creating something,
one piece of work that goes 9 million.
Exactly, not 52 bullshit podcast episodes.
Well, yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it is just truly one of my favorites. And I mean, it starts off, you know, we can pretty much go song by song, and I mean, there's no filler on this thing. And it starts off with Let Me Drown, and for me with Let Me Drown, It just kind of feels like you have Matt Cameron and he's holding court. The way that song starts with the drums, and it's interesting to me, the whole band this deep into their career as a band together. I know that they had changed bassists a couple of times, but their ability to still be innovative and to try new things and to venture into different stylistic waters and to have it click right away is just super, super impressive. And I think that's a one constant that I feel front to back on this record.
Right after Let Me Drown, we go right into the some nice intro guitar by Kim Thayil coming in with My Wave, and just classic Soundgarden kind of lead guitar where it just kind of like comes in, a little space in between, goes high pitch, high pitch. I'm not good. I'm not
wailing on the guitar with Kim. Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking drum turns. I'm trying to think of like the high tone.
That's the thing though with Kim's guitar and Chris, his guitar parts. It's that distinct sound that is almost kind of difficult to describe. You don't know what adjectives to use, but when you hear it, you know. And that intro to My Wave is great. And I mean, the lyrics top to bottom on this record are great, but My Wave has one of my favorites. Don't come over here and piss on my gate. Save it, just keep it off my way. I mean, so people want to do you wrong sometimes. They're trying to come over and piss on your gate, but sometimes they just got to save it, keep it off. So that's really what's going on there. But
this is a good album for lyrics. There's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff, and I forgot about that one. You mentioned that one before the episode, and that is a great line.
Yeah. And speaking of the lyrics, I mean, when you go into the third song with Fell on Black Days, I mean, I don't know that there's a better commentary on human struggle within this genre. Maybe I think River of Deceit is a peer to this song, but whatever I've feared has come to light. Just when every day seemed to greet me with a smile, sunspots have faded, now I'm doing time. And I know we've spoken about this before, I think on the mental health episode, but it's really eerie, especially looking back, knowing what we know about what lay ahead for Chris Cornell, obviously, and the struggles that he endured in his life. But I mean, this song is just, I think, a masterclass in explaining human emotion and the dark side, I think, that everybody has in their brain that you hope doesn't cross over into the other parts of your life. And this is, I mean, this is a tough listen. Still.
Yeah, and just the way it finishes. The last, how would I know that this could be my fate? And he kind of repeats that a few times, and it just finishes with Chris. And it's just a good, like, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, like, I was thinking about how we were talking about Lanigan and how a few, like, his songs that have the instrumental, like, finishing. I feel like there's a lot of Cornell, like, where he finishes, and it feels similar to me, the way they kind of, like, end songs after, like, pretty heavy lyrics throughout, and then they kind of I don't know, something about either them playing music and then him singing like a lasting note or something, but they both have a way of kind of closing songs in a way, in a beautiful way, and this one really gets it, keeps the song going.
And there's space for the lyrical subject matter to just kind of linger and sink in a little bit, and I definitely feel that at the end of this. I mean, because verse after verse, line after line in this song, I mean, they're just hitting you with heavy shit. So you kind of have to have something that kind of fades out. And it's always interesting for me the way artists and bands structure their albums. I mean, you have a song like that, and then you roll into Mailman, which I think, Ethan, you're a fan of the Mailman, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I think I don't remember. It like kind of happened, I think, through the pandemic where we started listening. Me and you like would send it back and forth more often, because I feel like it's recently that I've been like I hammered it out a lot, and for some reason it's just such a I don't know, it's such a great just marching kind of, it's just a good song. It's just a good Soundgarden song.
I'm headed for the bottom.
I'm headed for the bottom. Yeah, for all your kisses turn spit in my face, and it's, I don't know, it has it all for me for whatever reason. I think maybe because I didn't listen to it a lot like early on. It wasn't on the radio, so like I kind of came into it a little bit later. So it's still like it's just still really one of those songs that I just love getting behind. Looking up the live videos, I think I did fair share for this one.
Yes. And for me, Mailman sounds like the band that did Bad Motorfinger. Like if this song was on Bad Motorfinger, I wouldn't think twice about it. I think it fits, and it's crazy. Like I was saying at the beginning, they just seem to kind of ping pong back and forth between the Bad Motorfinger sound and the Down on the Upside sound on this record. Which obviously, I guess when you put the two together, it's the Superunknown sound. I mean, what better example of that than the title track, which is next up, which is Superunknown. And this song is, I mean, it's just another great one. And that's the thing. I mean, this is the fifth song, and this is not a short record. This has 15 tracks on it, and just song after song after song is, in my opinion, pretty top notch. And I think with this one, being the lyrical analyst or over analyst that I am, I still don't really know what it's about. I don't know what the Superunknown is.
I was gonna ask
first
you.
It steals your mind, and then it steals your soul, man. I mean, that's just how
Alive
it goes.
in the Superunknown.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those perfect examples that I couldn't define it, but Ethan, when you're in the Superunknown, when you're alive in it, you know.
When you're alive in the Superunknown. What do you think? Has he talked about the title, like, or the album title at all? Have they why they chose? I guess why they chose.
I'm actually not sure, and I know at some points Chris was fairly tight-lipped about the subject matter of a lot of his songs, and then other times he would openly volunteer. But I'm not sure about this one, but I kind of like it not knowing. I kind of like with this one not knowing what it's about, what the Superunknown is about.
Well, I think what it comes down to is like, first it steals your mind, and then it steals your soul.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how the album, that's how it goes. First it steals your mind, then it steals your soul.
There's really nothing else to say.
Alive in the Superunknown.
Absolutely. So the next song on the record is Head Down, and the bassist Ben Shepherd contributed the music for this one. And I think this one is overlooked a lot, and I feel this way a lot about what Soundgarden does, but I think in particular this song, the music and the guitar at the beginning is just kind of hypnotizing for me. And it's just the way they do that, and the way they recorded Chris's vocals for this one is just... it kind of gives you a little chill, in my opinion.
And this was, you said this one that Ben Shepherd wrote, was this his, he has
Ben
one
Shepherd
at the
wrote
end
the
of
music.
Yeah. What did he, I guess he wrote, I think it says here, he wrote the 14th track as well.
He wrote half. And
it's
he actually,
always, it's always special when the bassists and they kind of come out with some, or, they have some lyrics and whatnot. So
I love it when the band allows all of the band members to contribute either the lyrics or the music parts to it. And I think on this album a lot of it was Chris and Kim together, but they all have their contributions. And in this one, you get different sounds, you get different styles, because for better or for worse, I think you create in the image of what your influences are. And obviously, I think everybody has unique influences or different levels of ingredients, for example. So it's always really cool to see that shine through. And I think that's exactly what happens with Head Down, with Ben bringing the music there.
And I think that because our next song, when you have songs like Black Hole Sun, you have room for the bassist to write a few songs. Because
absolutely,
Black Hole
probably
Sun
sold about 3 million of those records of the 9 million.
Yeah, this song is, probably their most played song. It's the most played song without a doubt, without question. And this is quite a different. This is kind of enters into the as we've talked about the Soundgarden that is super trippy and kind of
psychedelic. Yeah, exactly.
The psychedelic side of the band, and where it's not as it's heavy, but it's like it's a different type of heavy. It's more like it's just like what is the word I'm looking for? Because it is still heavy. And I don't know if that's just because it's Cornell, the way he sings and the way he kind of like it kind of like falls down like Black Hole Sun. It's kind of like
it's kind of like spacey almost in a way. It's this psychedelic spacey kind of just trippy thing. And obviously, I think my perspective of it is subconsciously influenced by the music video, obviously, which.
We've definitely talked about this.
We've definitely spoken about the music video.
But that's what happens when you have say moments and interactions with certain videos and songs, but that's all you can think about when you hear it. And it's like that beginning, the first time we saw it, we've talked about this, me and you, in the Pittsburgh training hall.
Yeah,
at 6 a.m. we were watching the
just
music
tired,
video,
just completely exhausted, and then this thing comes on, and it's just like, whoa.
It's trippy. We don't know what's going on, and of course, you want to try to explain it and try to understand the music video. And this song is, I think, my favorite. My favorite is when it is done acoustic. I really do love all of Chris's versions of this acoustic. It's really special. I think it's best done acoustic in my mind.
Yeah, I certainly, I would agree with you for live performance, but for me, that studio performance of it is just so captivating, and the way they were able to get the instruments to sound, and it just makes it so trippy and so unique. I mean, I don't really think there's anything out there, or even anything within Soundgarden's discography that sounds like it. And kind of talking about ping-ponging back and forth between those styles, then you move on to Limo Wreck, which for me, once again, it sounds like something that could have been off of Bad Motorfinger. And I think this lyric, or the lyrics in this song are just an ultimate, one day you'll see kind of thing. And I think one of the lyrics in here is just absolutely fantastic. It's when the whole thing blows away, I won't pretend. It's just, it's heavy shit, man.
Yeah. Did we skip a song at number 8?
Oh fuck!
I was gonna say I was already for Spoon Man.
Kick me off the island. Let's move. Excuse me. I guess I was excited talking about the Limo Wreck and the bitterness. I mean,
Limo
Wreck
is
great.
Life. Obviously, I was kind of thrown off though, because I was ready to talk about Artist Spoon Man.
Artiste the Spoon Man. Well, let's get to it. Let's backtrack here, because obviously
this is
Spoon Man. I mean, that was the first single from this album.
Oh yeah, yep.
First one.
I've looked up the Spoon Man and seen the Spoon Man and heard
the notable street performer from Seattle.
Yes, and he's opened for them on stage a few times, and I've heard Chris in an interview say, like, a lot of people, they can talk about love and breakup and politics, rock and roll, abortion, named all that stuff. He's like, but I find it much more interesting to write about people like the Spoon Man. He's like, it's so much more entertaining to me to write about like the novelties of life and the beautiful art. Like, this guy's just hitting himself with a spatula. And this song is a absolute masterpiece when it comes to like musicianship. There's so many parts and so many pieces that when you listen to it, you kind of miss at first. But then if you have time to break it down, and there's some really sick stuff going on.
This is one of those songs that you have to listen to a few times, and each time you can pick out one or two things to listen to and just isolate. And
it's like those videos, like each time watch someone different, and you get it's like the same thing. Each time you listen to it, you listen with a different instrument in mind or a different part.
Yeah. So a fun fact about the Spoon Man, the song is there's the origin story to the song. So back in 1992, the Singles movie came out, and Spoon Man was originally written for the soundtrack of this movie. So at the time, Pearl Jam's Jeff Ament was tasked with creating the fictional band name in the movie, which ended up obviously coming out as The Great Citizen Dick. And apparently at the time, one of the working titles that he had come up with, either for the band or for the song, I can't quite remember, was Spoon Man. So Chris Cornell had seen this, and he challenged himself to write a song that was titled Spoon Man, just because he had seen that on Jeff's list. And he certainly, he did not disappoint. I think this is one of those other ones that's up there, I think, with Black Hole Sun, of just being very uniquely Soundgarden. And it's just, I think of Kim's solo in there too. It's just kind of piercing, and it stops and starts a couple times before he just rails into it with Chris giving that high shriek. I mean, his vocal delivery, I think, on this record and on Spoon Man is just, it's so good. It's so good. And it's got that echoey part here and there in the song, and it's just
It's undefeated. It is Soundgarden.
undefeated.
Yeah, it is Soundgarden.
It is undefeated. So we, I guess I'm pulling myself out of the limo wreck. I'm dusting myself off since we already spoke about that one. So that brings us to The Day I Tried to Live, and this is far and away one of my favorite Soundgarden songs. Once again, being the lyric obsessor that I am, I mean, this one's just a home run. And this is another one that is, when you listen to Chris's vocals, it's just kind of doesn't make sense that a human being could deliver something like that. And even live, for most of his life, he was still able to deliver this one in a way that would just blow you away, which was really, really impressive. Because I mean, I don't think with all the training in the world I could come close to being able to deliver something like this, but it's just got that descending guitar riff from Kim at the beginning and throughout the entire song. Matt's drumming and Ben's bass fits in so perfectly, and the lyrics are just, these lyrics, I think sometimes when I'm not in the happiest or greatest of moods, I mean, they can fuck you up. I mean, words you say never seem to live up to the ones inside your head, and the lives we make never seem to ever get us anywhere but dead. I mean, come on. But the one thing about it is the repeated line at the end, one more time around. So you keep trying, you keep attempting, and there's like some weird resiliency within all of the struggle.
Yeah, one more time around. The day I tried to live, just like you. It is a pretty heavy song. It's this also has one of our other favorite lyrics that we like to say to each other when we find out that we're wrong. And it says, "I learned that I was a liar." And
just like you.
And that is so important, because I think there's a lot of times in life where you may believe something, but then all of a sudden you're either corrected or you change and you realize that I'm a liar. I was a liar for a long time.
And everybody is, because I'm just like you in that regard. See, I think we all have something in common.
Yeah,
we all have something in common. Yeah, that's always been a favorite of ours. I can think of many times within our friendship that we've shared. I guess I'm a liar, just like you. It's so funny. Like, you take a song like this that's so heavy and has such a dark meaning, and I almost sometimes feel guilty attributing such lightness to it in terms of conversation. I mean, it's the same thing that we've done with Wood, which was written about Andrew Wood, and most certainly about drug addiction and darkness and things like that. And it's become a lighthearted moniker that you and I text to one another at the beginning of a work week or something. But I kind of feel bad when I do that, but also at the same time, I think that there's the understanding that when art is put out into the world, it is up to the interpreter or the viewer of that art, or the listener in this case, to take it and apply it to themselves in which way that they choose. So I certainly, maybe I'm a liar about that too, though. Who knows?
My gosh. Okay, so the next song is Kickstand.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep me on track here, since
I'll
probably jump back to Louder Than Love for the next song and just
we go right to Fresh Tendrils.
Exactly, that's the main attraction. We're all waiting for that.
Yeah,
one.
Go ahead.
So Kickstand, that was the first song that they recorded for this album, and for me, this feels just like No Attention on Down on the Upside. It's just super, super hard driving. It's got a lot of forward momentum. And I think anytime Soundgarden did that, it's just always impressive for me what Matt Cameron was able to do on the drums, because he was able to play so fast with such motion, but also so heavily, which once again, I never understand why the Pearl Jam fans shit on Matt Cameron, because they say he doesn't play like Dave. All they got to do is listen back to him back around here, and I mean, he was a masher, and he still is. And this is one. It's the great song for the second half of a record. I mean, this is just,
and like you said, it's a great pick me up after. The Day I Tried to Live. I mean,
and Limo Wreck. I mean, those are both slow, heavy shit songs.
Yeah. And it's just about getting back after being depressed. It's like a really upbeat and the Kickstand, it holds you up. It holds up the second half of the album, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly does. So now we've arrived at the moment that we've been waiting for, and that is the mighty fresh tendrils. Ethan, do you have any thoughts about this one? Because this is one that I honestly overlook a lot. Because for me, it's kind of like after all of the heaviness in the middle of this record with Black Hole Sun, Limo Wreck, Day I Try to Live. I think for Kickstand and Fresh Tendrils, when I'm doing a front to back for this thing,
this is right where you lose it.
Yeah, it's like a cigarette break. You just kind of need to step outside for a little bit and regroup because obviously there's some pretty heavy stuff coming down the pipe.
That's right. The band's still playing and they play these two songs while you're going through two cigarettes because you need a break and you gotta step out. So you hear it, it's back there. But no, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, because for me, it's always been with Kickstand and Fresh Tendrils. It's just like the back half of the album, good music, but not something that has ever really connected with me in a deep way. Yeah. Probably because I think, like I said, in my front to back listening sessions, I don't know that I've given those songs their proper due. But it's so hard to divvy up your attention because, like I was saying, I mean, some of these, two of these last three songs for me are all timers for Soundgarden, and I think the first one, which is the next track up here, is 4th of July, and I still stand by the fact that if I had to show a human being who didn't know Soundgarden, if I had to share them one thing that would just leave them speechless, I would give them the 4th of July.
Yeah, this is like your top song, right?
Yeah, I think it's
which
certainly
makes
top
sense.
two.
Yeah, I agree.
This and Zero Chance from Down on the Upside are my two favorites, and I know I've said this before, but this one, it just feels like a march through hell. That's what this song is to me. It's so heavy.
It is just a masterpiece of a song. I mean, it's I love the way you put it as a march through hell. It's got this like twisting and like kind of
sinister almost.
It's sinister and like intertwined like vine type of, I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know how you can get much more apocalyptic than, quote, down in the hole, Jesus tries to crack a smile beneath another shovel load. Yeah. I mean, that might be my favorite Chris Cornell lyric of all time. And the funniest thing, or the most interesting thing, this song was written about an acid trip that Chris Cornell had that happened, I think, to be around the 4th of July. But it's crazy how people can have experiences and divulge something out of those experiences that you would have no idea that that's what that's from. But this song for me, I mean, I don't know if Kim Thayil could detune his guitar any more than he did to play this one, and how heavy and how loud and sludgy and just sloppy it is. But it's such a fantastic song, and it's really always going to be one of my favorites. I always look forward to this one when I listen, which, like I said, is why sometimes I'm a bad boy and I check out for a couple of these songs.
You skip to get to 4th of July. Do you when the date 4th of July comes around, do you listen to it on the?
I do listen to this one. I don't listen to a lot of people in the United States will listen to all the patriotic Lee Greenwood bullshit. I say fuck all that stuff. I'm going to Soundgarden 4th of July. I don't give a shit about the "Proud to Be an American" song or any of that stuff. Give me Kim Thayil just bringing it to me. That's all I need to celebrate my holiday. That's my Independence Day.
That's amazing, as it should be. As Grunge Bible owner, we listen grunge at every holiday.
Exactly. We're gonna amend the Constitution for that. So we have two songs left on this record. The 14th and second to last song is called "Half." And this one is the only one on the record, and it might be the only one, period, or the only one that I'm aware of that Ben Shepherd contributes a significant vocal performance to. And I'm not the biggest fan of this song. It sounds super different. I think there's a sitar in it. There's some weird stuff going on. But I love it when bands do this stuff. It's like on No Code when Stone Gossard gets to sing on Mankind. I love it when they let people do things in the band that they are not particularly or not most frequently accustomed to doing. And I think it's great that they put this on the album. And like I said, it just sounds so different. There's a lot of different instrumentation stuff going on, and it's echoey. It's kind of I don't know. It's just a strange composition, but like I said, I really appreciate it when bands challenge you to listen to strange things.
Yeah. And it's only, 2 minutes and like
it's
15,
so short.
It's like 2 minutes long, and it's put between 4th of July and then their final song, like Suicide. So I think it just gives you that cigarette break you need before going into the last song. After 4th of July, I think that, it's at a good place. I mean, it fits, but it's not what people buy the album for, probably.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
Yeah, and I think with this album, the two bookends to this album are just great. I think "Let Me Drown" is the perfect intro to the record and what's to come. And I think "Like Suicide" is a great outro. And the backstory to this one is probably not what people would expect, and certainly not what a lot of people, I think, associate with this song today, given Chris Cornell's passing in 2017. But the story behind this one is Chris Cornell wrote this about an experience that he had while he was recording, and he was in a building and a robin flew into the window.
A crow or something.
Flew into the window and broke its neck. And Chris Cornell saw that this robin was just laying on the ground, dying slowly because it had a broken neck. And he found a brick, and he gave this robin the coup de grace to put it out of its misery. And there's some allusions and some references to that. I believe there's they reference the brick and birds and flying and everything in this song. And she lived like a murder, but she died so sweetly, just like Suicide. And for me, it's the sound of this song and the music is just it's kind of jarring, I think. And I think it's hard for me to separate this song. As I was saying, it's hard for me to separate it. Certainly knowing what I know about how Chris Cornell passed away and everything.
Yeah.
It's I think it makes it a lot more difficult to listen to, and I think I approach it differently now than when I did when Chris Cornell was still with us. But I mean, it's just another fantastic song, and I think once again, it's kind of one of those songs that they give you some time to just let it linger in the outro and as things close down, and it's much needed, certainly after this song, but obviously after the preceding 14 songs. I mean, this whole album is just it's hard to put into words how complete it feels and how just how perfect it is in a way. It serves its purpose perfectly.
Yeah, this is a beautiful last song, in my opinion. I think it really is. It is tough to listen and read the lyrics and think about it all now. There's a couple years past passing of Chris, but man, it is. This is probably one of the better songs on the album for me.
Yeah.
And you said it was in your. Did you say it was in your top 5?
It's certainly up there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great finish. It's a great conclusion to what makes this a kind of it's just a killer album. There is probably like 7 or 8 songs that you go directly to listen, like when people or when you want to show people Soundgarden, like you said. So we have quite the body of work here, and these 15 songs or something like that.
15 songs, and it's interesting for me because I think for the majority, or at least the beginning of my my experiences as a Soundgarden fan, this was my favorite Soundgarden album, and then it wasn't until later that Bad Motorfinger supplanted it. But I think the variety on this one is hard to beat. I think they went into Down on the Upside a couple of years later with the expectation and the purpose of making it experimental, but with this, it was just kind of, I think, the perfect intertwining of what they knew they did well with where they wanted to go, even if I'm not sure if they knew that's where they wanted to go for the next record. And it's so perfect. It doesn't feel like there was an agenda to make it sound the way that it did, but it just ended up that way. And I think it's like a happy accident almost. But man, that's
a good point.
Yeah, and for me, like I say, Bad Motorfinger I think is my favorite still, but it's 1 and 1A with Bad Motorfinger and Superunknown.
Just depends on what when you get asked the question, you just have a tendency to be in a more Bad Motorfinger mood more often.
The leaderboard's always fluctuating.
Yeah.
There's songs and albums always moving up and down the list. But if you had to pick a favorite from Superunknown, is there one that stands out for you? Even if it's just today, like this is the one that is my favorite today.
I do really like Spoon Man and Mailman, which is funny. And then of course I do The Day I Try to Live is probably the top three. I mean, I don't know, 4th of July could also be there, but I'd say those three. How about you?
Yeah, I think out of principle, because I've explicitly said this before, I have to say it's 4th of July, but 4th of July, like Suicide, The Day I Try to Live, I think are my top three on this one. They're all up there together. And I think that's not really ever going to change. It's hard to beat those songs, but what a
great album.
Fantastic album.
Yeah, it's
turning 28 this week. It turned 28 on March the 8th. So getting older.
9 million. I wonder when they'll eclipse 10, because obviously it'll happen eventually. It's
a mathematical certainty.
Yeah. So that was Superunknown by Soundgarden. That was a pleasure. I think we're gonna move into our song of the week. We both have obviously been building this playlist for 51 weeks of our songs. Have a lot of diverse bands on there. Last week we had our first double feature. We both picked the same song without knowing it.
Yep.
Had multiple entries from a few bands. So every week is a new thing. So, Chris, what is your song of the week? What have you been listening to? What have you getting down with recently?
Yeah, so I don't know that I would characterize it as getting down with this song or this artist necessarily, because I think the headspace that I'm listening to this musician in is certainly a little different. Man, ever since we got the news that Mark Lanegan passed away, I've been on a nonstop Mark Lanegan music listening binge. All of his stuff. In fact, I've started, and I'm about halfway through rereading his memoir, Sing Backwards and Weep. I was on the plane this past weekend, so I had a lot of time to listen and to read. And there's one song that he has. So in his post Trees career, he worked just nonstop, and he did release this one album in 2003, and it's got a song on it. And it's called Out on the Steps of the Cathedral, and that's my song of the week. I've been aware of it for a while now at this point. It's been one of my favorites for him. It's kind of this weird, like, spoken word track with just this really, really loud abrasive guitar that kind of almost overshadows the lyrics, but it's really, really just kind of like an eerie song, just kind of spoken word. And a couple of the first things that that you can hear him say at the beginning is, "I'm so sorry, there's nothing I can do. I've got the whole world in my hands." And I don't know. It's just, his any of Mark Lanegan's songs could have been my song of the week this week, because I think I've listened to all of them this past couple of weeks. But yeah, it's still I think this one's gonna this loss is definitely gonna linger in my consciousness for a while, as it has the last couple of weeks, because he was just really, really special, and his music was certainly of great importance to me. So I'll tab down my song of the week as Out on the Steps of the Cathedral from the 2003 album Here Comes That Weird Chill, Methamphetamine Blues, Extras and Oddities.
Damn. Yeah, I was just looking for it. I couldn't find it at first, but I'm excited.
It's in the back. It's in there, but you got to dig a little bit. That's the
Out
best
on the
part.
Steps of the Cathedral.
Yeah, he had so much music, and he created with so many different people and so many different styles that a lot of his stuff is pretty hard to find. But it makes it that much better when you do find it, and it just I'm still in the area where I'm still finding more things that he created.
Wait. Definitely going to listen to that one after this, because I have not heard that, obviously. So my song is probably a little different, but it's Everything You Want by Vertical Horizon.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah, and I just been listening to one of my favorite playlists is like 90s hits of the summer 90s edition or whatever, or summer hits of the 90s.
That's a classic.
We would
feel good genre playlist type. Yeah,
and we would listen to it a lot actually in Pittsburgh with our other teammate, and so it had all the the Lit and My Own Worst Enemy and all those
Bowling for Soup,
stuff like that. And this is one
Jimmy
of those
Vertical
Horizon. I don't know much of their other music, but this song
I think
is
the only one that I know. Yeah,
is so good, and the lyrics are really fun too. You say exactly what. Oh fuck! I'm gonna mess it up. I did. I am so bad. The people can hear this too. I am one of the worst as far as lyrics and being. I can listen to a song a million times and I fuck up the lyrics. I can.
Our brains work exactly opposite in that regard. I'll listen to it once and I'll know it.
Yes, exactly. It is so. Oh my gosh! It makes me so fucking mad that I get shit lyrics wrong after listening. I can't sing at concerts well. It doesn't matter how long I've been listening to these bands. I mess it up. And it's so frustrating when I'm such a big fan and I look like I don't know the lyrics because I can't, but I know them, but I don't know them. And we are absolutely different. So anyway, back to the song. He says, he's everything you want. He's everything you need. He's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. And then it goes and flips it to where it's everything you want. And it's the opposite in a relationship.
Dichotomies,
and
different sides of the coin.
Say all the right things at exactly the right time, but you don't mean anything to them. And it's just a good melody. It's a good great
hook.
Yeah, it's just a really kind of peaceful, and you just kind of find yourself humming it and thinking about it's just timing. It talks about it's timing, how you could be everything for somebody, but they don't notice you, but at the same time you're everything for somebody, but you don't notice them, and it's just timing and
the
situation.
World's a funny place. Yeah, gets you thinking.
So that's a great song. It's such a fun song to me, and that's what I've been into recently. I'm just trying to get the fun songs. I think that
temperature's warming up.
Yeah,
we're gonna be heading outside.
We're gonna be getting a beer.
We'll be listening to some of that this weekend. I'm excited for that. I'm already thinking of things to add to the playlist for the hang this weekend. I
already got a few spots lined up. We're definitely gonna go and check out the local venue. I mean, I was thinking about there's probably I was thinking about popping trying to buy some cheap tickets to a show on Saturday night, but I don't know what we're getting into, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, we'll see what the deal is. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see you, and kind of getting together with some friends reminds me of something that I shared with you today that I definitely want to share on the podcast. So in the local paper of Mark Lanigan's hometown, they posted his obituary in Ellensburg, Washington, when he passed away, and the last entry into his obituary was the following, and it said, "To remember Mark, do something that you love that brings you joy. Talk to an old friend. Walk your dogs and hug them. Throw a baseball." So I think it's always a good reminder. And it's definitely, reading that today, I was certainly excited to come down this weekend to spend some time with you, a long-time old friend of mine. But that definitely kind of frames it in a more of a special way, because those opportunities are never really guaranteed and you never know. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, when you send that to me, you know what it made me think of? When you visited Kentucky and we went to the old diamond close to my house,
yes.
And we were throwing baseball, and we were doing
baseball together.
We were trying to throw people out, and
Yep.
it was just me. We had to visualize the rest of the team because it was just me and you. But
hey, you couldn't see them, but they were out there.
Oh,
they always are. They're always out there. Ethan.
Down big in the ninth inning and trying to mount a comeback, and it was just me and Chris.
Hey, we got the win. We always do.
Yeah, that was good times. It's gonna be a great weekend.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you guys are still listening, thank you very much. Take this weekend to do something like that. Talk to people and throw a baseball, have some fun, listen to good music, and have good conversations, because that's what we'll be doing.
Absolutely. So let's fill one another's cups all the way up if we can, and That'll put a lid on episode 51 of the Grunge Bible podcast. We'll be back next week for the Big 5-2, which means we will have made it a whole goddamn year.
And Chris, hold on. Let me just, I just want to make sure. Yeah. So this one's going to come out on the 11th, and the next week it is not going to come out on the 18th, but it's going to come out on the 21st.
That's true. We're moving to Mondays.
So this is our last Friday release, Chris.
Wow.
This is the last Friday.
Forever. Holy shit.
It's already here. This is the last time that we
through.
We did it.
We did it, Ethan. Ethan, I'm proud of you. Good job.
I'm proud of you, Chris. I really am. And Drew, great. Shout out to Drew McFadden.
Shout out to Drew McFadden.
We hate him, but he does a good job, so we keep him around. No, I'm just kidding. Yep. He called me while we were recording this, of course.
Oh, shit.
But
it's all coming together.
Yeah, man. Thanks Friday
for listening,
release,
everybody. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all of your attention on Fridays or whenever the hell you're listening to this. And we look forward to now catching up with you on Mondays as we go into the flood together. What better way?
What better way? Oh.
all right, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Rock and roll.
Yep. Stay heavy, everyone.
Stay heavy. And to have it click right away is just super, super impressive. And I think that's a one constant that I feel front to back on this record.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I blanked right there. Okay, yeah. Do you want to go song by song, or how do you want to bounce around?
I have things to say song by song if you want to.
Yeah, I don't have. There's a few songs that I don't have a ton to say.
Do you have like the track list in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can lead in, and then if you have something to say about it, you can say what you have to say, and if not, you could just bounce it to the next track.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Because I don't have much to say about like fresh tendrils or something.
Exactly. Except that Matt Cameron wrote it. Was that his?
I don't know, but I just said, it's the perfect second half song.
It's the perfect second half.
The problem is like I'm pretty excited to talk about like 10 of these songs, so I don't really want to just say fuck you to the other 5.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you kind of gotta like mention.
Yeah, we're good. We're real good at that. Yeah. So. All right, Drew, that's got to get cut. Obviously.
I'm not even sure what. I haven't listened to. Yeah. All right. Next one. All right.
So I just said that shit about Let Me Drown with Matt and how they're still